guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Yum. It says only one person's watching right now.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. Are you working out again, Chris?
I'm working out my.
I surely hope so.
Such a poser.
I'm getting dressed. It's a busy morning, but I wanted to drop in because I love you guys.
Well, we love you too, buddy. It says there's only one person watching. No, there's two.
Now there's two, yeah. But one of them is me on my phone.
That is so weird. But I want to say good morning to Penny, Alatar. D. Bud Martin is here. And that is it. We have 3 people here. I don't know why it says only 2 are watching.
It's a Monday.
Gary, one of them
Yeah,
is
it's
me.
always slow on Monday. And I am not calling Keith today because he had a big weekend. Keith was a big boy this weekend and went to Archon in St. Louis. So he's all pooped out and tired.
He's sending me some links this morning.
He showed you some length this morning?
What is it with you, Gary?
That's what you said.
But that's better.
I swear to God, that's what I heard. He showed you some length this morning. I don't know what you said.
Links.
You knew what you wanted.
Oh, okay.
When he gets bored at work, he sends people links.
His nickname in high school was Soup Can because it was short, but it was fat. My nickname in high school was V8. As in, I coulda. Anyway. God, it's Monday.
It is. One weekend.
I took yesterday off. I just didn't do shit. I slept until afternoon, stayed in bed, didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't take phone calls. And then finally in the afternoon, I talked to one person who called me, which was Charlie. Keith is up. He just sent me a link. Are you hearing the noise behind me?
No. Oh, yeah.
Kitty cats?
It is an army of them, or as I like to refer to them, as a conspiracy of cats.
Yeah. 14. That's too many.
I think I say you paint them blue. Oh, there's another link from Keith for me. Paint them blue and compete with Avatar for the Christmas time box office.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Bags is my buddy. He's my buddy. He's big black male cat, and just like Keith. And
what does the cat have on you that he's blackmailing you?
No, he's not blackmailing me.
He knows how to open his fridge.
He hangs out with me, but at night, like I woke up in the morning and, well, yesterday afternoon, and went into my little office area here, and my sugar-free Cold Whip was spoiled and sitting in the middle of the floor. Like,
Your
fridge
what?
was closed. The fridge was closed, and I'm like, "What in the fuck?" And then finally,
you did it again. 9 minutes in. You drop an
it's
asshole.
military
5
Monday.
minutes.
It's military Monday.
Right, you started 5
So,
fast. Yeah, but you can't do a military show
the
without
cat-
cussing. That's true.
I suddenly hear this little ruckus behind me, and I turn, and there's Bags hanging by his paws, and he can't get up on top of my fridge, and he pulls the door open. And I knew immediately, you little son of a bitch, you did this. And I know he's the one. He sits on my keyboard and turns shit on my computer and leaves comments that look like
Yeah, he
forward
does.
slash, about 1,000 forward slashes, a few question marks. And I'm like, and one time he actually hit enter. So there was a search for that. And Google found it. There were videos and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, the cat is. So I try to flip my keyboard up now at night so he won't do that. But
What is it with the forward slashes? Because my cat does the same thing. The cats are searching for something.
Yeah, mine are sitting on the mouse, clicking stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I hate
Grandmaster is here and Dr. Dragon. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, guys.
We got a whopping big 6 on a crappy, and it tells me that we're not showing on Facebook. Something is wrong with Facebook. It annoys me.
We're not.
There's so much wrong with Facebook.
Yeah, it won't let me. It won't let me go live on Facebook. This is so stupid. I'm so tired of this Facebook problem with stream. Am I able to delete it? Yes, remove.
Add to that all the stuff that's going wrong on YouTube, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, I've found that the more you kind of start to push yourself out there, the more sites like Facebook and Twitter kind of throttle you back. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're
call
not paying us anything, so we're not going to help you.
Yeah, it's not even shadow banning. You know,
War Monkey and Alex Moore.
Oh, Alex Moore and War Monkey are here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Here. Oh.
I can't stay too long. I've got appointments, but like I said, I gotta.
Well, we're going to be getting
in.
into the episode here in a few minutes. It was a very good episode that had a really goofy moment that just kind of like, what in the living fuck are you talking about?
He went on such a rant. We watched it.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Weekdays,
She starts.
and he went so mad.
She was talking shit that nobody would talk to a Navy SEAL or anybody in the military. It's like, oh, you know, just doing the finger pointing thing. She's a member of the Kurdish. I forget their name. They're Kurds, and they fight against
Something
ISIL,
with a Y. That's
ISIS.
short. Weird.
Yeah, because you even asked later what that is, and I looked
Yeah.
at it. Oh, that's who they are. That's what they're called. It's JWA or some weird shit like that. And,
Hang on, I'll find that out.
but anyway, this commander of this group of female soldiers, and I guess they're trying to infer that they're tier 1 operators for the Kurds. And I'm like, no, none of you are. And they show an attempted breach. Nobody has proper armor on. Nobody has helmets on. They got ball caps on, and they're going to try to breach a hostage situation. And the guy opens the door and doesn't even toss a flashbang, knowing there's people on the other side. Just starts turning the corner to walk straight into the room, real slow, doing a slow walk in,
Yeah,
and
that was
fucking gets
stupid.
nailed by multiple rounds. Center mass drops, and I'm like, that's not even. I mean, my God, your most basic soldiers know that. Not to do what you just did. It had some off moments for me, and a lot of those guys and gals over there in Afghanistan, as well as Iraq, were trained by us, and a lot of them trained by special forces as well as Rangers. You know, and Rangers, in my opinion, should be considered special forces with some of their training. Those guys are top notch. And but the problem that we had, you know, dealing with the Hodges that were over there that we knew that were friendly, they had a penchant for running gun when they would breach. They would just spray a room. They would walk into the door, kick the door, and go into the room and just start shooting anybody in there. And I'm like, hard targets only. Like, what are you doing? And that's how they would do it a lot of the time. And it's not just me. A lot of guys that witnessed them, how they worked, were like, we taught you not to do that. This is something you started doing on your own. That's spray and pray. You know, and the funny part was they'd flashbang and then run and still shoot everybody in the room, even if they weren't armed. And it was just like, what the heck? So we get to see that with this show. And just to, get you caught up, let me go ahead and I'm going to, yeah. Thanks, Keith. Just keep messaging me during a show. That's great.
Hey, you say he's allowed to.
Stop, Keith. Stop.
He is an ion. We are allowed to message you. Because you're ignoring it anyway.
And it interrupts what I'm doing when it happens. Wait until after show to share, buddy.
You're not my supervisor.
He's part of the damn show. He's just not on. And he's like sending me these videos. And I'm like, don't send stuff to me right now.
I'm just getting the Archer references
I'm
in.
I'm ADD.
Yeah, but you have me now, so.
Guess what? He messaged me a thumbs up.
I'll get your ADD brain back on track. You wanted to walk us through the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, and I get distracted, man. So I need to find the episode real quick. Hold on.
Well, I know that that link he sent, I definitely want to look at.
I have no clue. It might be something I want to watch. It might be something I don't care about. I want to be able to look at it and not be distracted from what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. All right, season 6, episode 3. Here we go. So I'm not going to. So I'm going to share a clip or just an image right now. This is one thing we're dealing with on the show. Can you see it yet? Is it sharing? There it is. I'm just going to share the image, of course. We're dealing with his catastrophic injury, where he had been hit. And I'm not sure if it was hit by shrapnel or a round, because I still haven't figured that out. I got to go back and watch that previous episode when he gets hit. And basically, it's okay. Is that you, Chris?
No, it's my dog.
Oh, no, I mean, I was trying to figure out which screen it was.
You asked for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Max Thero, who everybody knows from Bates Motel, plays the part of Clay Spencer, and I think he's one of the best characters on the show. He started out annoying because he was your typical young woke dipshit just joining a military group. He passed the test and got accepted into SEALs.
Yeah, and it gets mentioned in this episode. How problematic he was in the beginning.
Oh, he's very problematic. And but we watched him grow. That a lot of that bullshit that he believed in, he learned was bullshit. And he even at one point risked everybody, including his own job, by being a what do you call it? When you quietly report something, whistleblower on something. And you really need to ask yourself, was that really necessary to do that? But this kid, we've seen this arc with this kid from the very beginning, and now he's all fucking trooper. He's all out combat ready, combat effective. And in the middle of a firefight, they get ambushed, and he gets a catastrophic injury to his leg that threatens his life even after they get him off the field and into a hospital. And I'm assuming somewhere in Germany. And man,
yes, Ramstein. Ramstein is a military.
Yeah, Ramstein. And Ramstein is the primary medical station in Europe for U.S. soldiers. Yes, I saw that. Chris is putting pussy in the camera. Putting his pussy. Anyway, so the whole new season is him dealing with this injury, and now instead of doing major time jumps, they're putting things a little too narrow in time and showing problems that he wouldn't be having at this point. And it's there for dramatic reasons. Anima calls it every single time. That's there for drama. And
because it's stupid.
I appreciate that they're showing these things, but they're showing them at a period they should have been all in one episode. Him having trouble walking,
and they keep
learning to hold his balance. And the thing is this is a below the knee amputation, not an above the knee. So he still has his joint. So some of the problems they're showing are more common with people who lose, above the knee. But they still show it. I think it's good that they show it, but it for those of us that worked in the medical field as medics in the military, we're like, you're kind of stretching this out. But at least by the third episode, he decides halfway through the episode to stop using his cane. He limps, and that's common. That is common.
They finally stopped.
Yeah, it's like that should have been just one episode, his troubles with that. And episode 2 and episode 3 should have been him basically getting used to it, not having difficulty with it.
Yeah, because episode 2 is a 3-month time jump.
Yeah, and he's still having the exact same problem that he would have had in the first weeks.
Yeah.
So this scene, he's this episode 2 where he finally stands for 2 minutes. Actually goes over 2 minutes. And it was a happy moment. It was a good moment. And it's a character you care about. She's a government creature. She really is. She works within the government, political. So she is really the last vestige of a woke character in the story. And we're going to see that there are little problems that she's causing because they just had a baby. And he feels not emasculated. It's not that. He feels insignificant and he feels useless right now. And he makes an offer to her at one point in this latest episode to, why don't you let me, instead of me just not doing anything, why don't you let me watch the boy during the day? And she goes, well, I don't want to mess up his schedule. She completely ignores what he's really saying. I feel useless. Will you let me take care of our kid so I can feel useful?
She's not really good in dealing with what he's going through.
She's not hearing it. She's not hearing him. Yeah. She's focused on her concerns and not his concerns. Even when you see her get frustrated over what he's doing with his body, pushing himself, and she gets excited about it too, and shows great affection towards him. A lot of the stuff is what she's feeling and not what he's feeling. She's a problematic character, but I'm assuming that somewhere along the line, this is leading to her arc in this season.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping so, because they tend to pay attention to arcs. But again, in this episode, he's halfway through the episode, he's walking on his own, limping, mind you, but he's still walking. And that's common for people to, it takes a while sometimes to get used to that prosthetic.
Yeah,
leg.
so he's on his legs a lot during the day.
That's
so
what I don't understand
discomfort
why they're not showing it. Well, they're not showing that there should be concern over pressure injuries on the end of the stump, because no matter how well padded that is, you spend too much time on there, it starts to get swollen and irritated.
Yeah.
And you got to watch out. You got to massage the shit out of it.
See, and that's stuff that you and I know, but the common viewer might not know, so they should explain it, really.
Well, no, exactly. I think that it does make her a little more realistic. But what I'm saying structurally in the story, she's problematic as a character. And I'm expecting that to be an arc for this season. Either he's going to confront her or she's going to realize and make that change. Like Michael Jackson says, make that change. Anyway. But it is kind of a realistic marriage in that that's where we see the dysfunction. There's a dysfunctional aspect of their relationship. A lot of love between these two. They really do love each other. And I like that. It's been a cute romance from the beginning of it. And she wanted to bring him over to her side, the political side. And I'm glad that he had the experiences he had with that ambassador and all that shit that took place, because it changed his general attitude about things. That maybe I was looking at things wrong. And he has taken a warrior approach to everything pretty much ever since. I don't know if you guys that watch the show caught that, but he does. He becomes a warrior at one point. He's not fully into it until about the third season. And that's when he really forms as a warrior. But I want to skip ahead here. The confrontation here that took place in episode 2 between Hayes and, I forgot her name. What is her name? Lisa. Is over the fact that there are threats that armchair warriors want to shut down the teams. And Bravo team may be on the chopping block, even though they're one of the most functional teams according to the show. And you'll notice that the SEAL team number doesn't exist anymore. I'm glad they put that in there. That ended after certain members of a certain administration back in 2011 blurted out who killed bin Laden. And they shouldn't have done that, and turned them into a target, and it got them killed. Almost the entire SEAL team was killed within 2 months because of it. And so Navy said, we're not going to go with those numbers anymore. And no one is allowed to know how many members there are. That is super duper top secret.
As an aside, I recommend the Maniscalco stand-up bit about his obsession with Navy SEAL documentaries and the killing of bin Laden. He's hilarious. I got to run, but again, love you guys. And
love you too, Chris. Take it easy, buddy. Have a good
enjoy
day.
the rest of the show.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Hey, I see Joe is here too. What's up, Joe? Good morning. So I'm going to go back a beat here, and here we see them coming into the locker room. And this is what locker rooms look like in the military. If you've been curious,
they don't have lockers; they have cages.
They're cages. Yeah, you have a cage for all your gear. And
well,
I'm telling you, if you don't lock secure your gear, your shit will get stolen, and probably by a friend just to fuck with you.
Oh.
But we used to do that. We procured gear all the time, medic gear. If one of the other platoons didn't lock their shit up, we go in there and just, hey, anybody need mass trousers? Here you go. Hey, I got a jump kit here. Anybody need a jump kit? All right, here you go.
Of course.
Shit, here's an entrenching tool. Everybody needs an entrenching tool.
What's that?
It's the foldable shovel that we use in the military.
Oh, yeah.
So Hayes is pissed off in this meeting because it seems like this season he is just walking around with a chip on his shoulder about everything. And it's because of the fact that he's having to get his TBI and breacher syndrome treated privately because he can't let the military know. He's paying privately for this treatment, which technically is illegal for him to do in the military. He can be kicked out of the military for it. But he's risking his career because he's afraid of losing his career. I know the irony does not escape me. He's risking his career to save his career. But that's Hayes, man.
Yeah,
he knows he's got breacher syndrome. He knows he's got a TBI, and he's trying this new. Well, the therapy. It's the therapy that's been around for a while, but it's still controversial, and the military doesn't approve it. Which is what do you call it? Stem cell therapy.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the damaged brain cells from TBIs that are part of the PTSD, because the TBI and the PTSD work together. They're trying to use the same brain cells. So what they're doing is they're using stem cells to stimulate growth. And he's already says he's feeling the effect of it.
Yeah, now it seems to be working.
But now he seems to be, since the treatment, I feel like he's a little angrier in the show. And then
he's worried because he knows that he has to get a new member on the team. And
the team's on the cutting block, yeah.
No, his team members are in. They know what's his problem and they know how to work around that. But getting a new person on the team,
well, that's what I was building up to.
They might tell, yeah.
Because Clay is out now, he has to accept the fact that he's going to get a new guy. But instead of getting a new guy like they had, and they even comment on it, like Clay was new, fresh, Navy SEAL. He had just graduated, buds, and so they get this guy that's been in it for a while, and it's somebody that Hayes feels very threatened by because he's more alert. So he's going to be aware of the communication between him and his team over his problem. And he's afraid of his problem becoming a problem. And so the new guy, and I'll move forward because this is a good scene. I like this scene with Clay, and Clay's trying to explain, what they need to do. And I understand your frustration. And then Ray, you see him here. Where's it at? Oh, I lost it. There he is, Ray. That's Ray in the background is like, hey, look, we're going to get this new guy. It's going to be fine. He's going to be more experienced and stuff. It'll be good for us. And Hayes doesn't dig on any of the shit that Ray's saying. And it causes this internal conflict with him, and you can see it because Ray is just constantly like just getting exasperated with Hayes. And then, of course, here's the baby scene, and he's going to take the baby out with him and have a little walk, and he still needs support, and then drops the kid off at daycare and heads over to physical therapy. And his physical therapist starts giving him shit about pushing himself too hard.
Because he sees him walking laps in the parking lot.
Yep, he says you can't keep doing this. But the fact is, and of course these guys show up during his PT thing. Oh, we get the great opening logo. Anima likes that when they're walking out of the ocean. Yep. Here's another confrontation between Lisa and Hayes about what's going on, and he makes an allegation that she's focused more on her career than on the team. After she's already, or in the next scene where she does a confrontation with her commanding officer who runs the Tactical Operations Center. What is his name? I forget his name. Eric. He runs the Tactical Operations Center that she works in. And they have a confrontation over what Hayes says here. Because he says, you're so focused on your intel, you're kind of forgetting the team you came from. And he calls her out on her lack of loyalty, which I agree with. I agree that there is always a certain amount of loyalty you have to the people who helped you move up in the military. They helped you. And Hayes helped her. So she shouldn't commit a crime to help him. But at the same time, if she has the opportunity to help Bravo team, she should be helping them. And that's what he calls her out on, but in a kind of a shitty way, because that's Hayes. Hayes says, and then we see Ray again dealing with stuff at home, and him and his wife are trying to start that clinic to help people with PTSD. And I think it's a great idea, but his focus is still on Bravo, and she's kind of, I wouldn't say egging him on about it, but she's kind of giving him a little bit of grief about it, that you're going to have to make a decision at some point. And he doesn't want to have to think about that right now because, once again, Bravo team is on the chopping block. And he's trying to explain to her the team is on the chopping block, and that's where my attention is right now. I'm sorry. And I made the comment that she kind of looks like, right there, look at her. That's She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She looks like She-Hulk.
That's right.
Not the actress playing She-Hulk, but She-Hulk, the bad CGI. She looks like bad CGI Hulk. She's very pretty, though. I just thought that was funny. So here's the confrontation between Eric and Lisa, and he calls her out. Hayes calls her out, and then fucking Eric calls her out, saying,
Yeah, she gets it from everyone.
Yeah, she's getting it from everyone. It kind of sucks. Good morning, Magitac. How you doing, Mags? So he gives her shit, and she's trying to make it clear this is good intel and this is a good plan. But then she has to take it before the armchair warriors. This guy's been in the fight. Eric's been in the fight. Season back, we saw a scene where she and he had to fight their way out of Middle Eastern, and I can't remember if they're in Iran or if they're in Syria. It was one of the two.
I really need to go back and watch that.
The whole team is there, and the team is trying to make it back to her and him and their other assistant. I forget who it was that was with them, and they have to shoot their way out. They were completely isolated and combat effective. They did a good job. And there's that stern face she's giving. I like that one. It's good intel, and I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do. And so he goes, okay, let's go. And they move on to the next scene, which we see the guys again in the locker room. And this is when...
It's not very flattering.
Yeah, it's a tough scene because this is what would typically be called a sandbox scene, because they're around the table that they would normally be planning their missions on. And but what they're talking about is the problem that's going on. And I think this is where they find out who the new guy is. And it's a person that Hayes has a problem with him. And I like this character because he is Middle Eastern. His family fled Syria to come to America. And he has some insights that Hayes is just belligerently not interested in because of his disdain for having him. Yeah, it's just Hayes is very narrow vision in this episode. And
he's being a real asshole towards him.
Yeah, and look at that face. Look at that face.
And that's how he treats him the whole time. The new guy just tries to socialize and make contact and bond with them, and he's just not having it. He's such an asshole.
Oh shit, that's awesome, Monkey Jeebus. Hello, Monkey Jeebus, come again. You got the Boba Fett exclusive. I'm gonna want to see that, man. Show me your Boba Fett. So they find out now, and you can tell everybody's a little uncomfortable about this because this is the guy they know, and they were kind of hoping for somebody new to be brought in, but that's just not going to happen. And the guy is combat effective.
But one of them says if they had a choice, they would have chosen him.
And that's Ray. Ray makes the point, and you know Ray is the black, what do you call it? He's a chief warrant officer. He joined the chief warrant officer corps and was still allowed to stay with the team, which is really cool. But he tells Hayes to his face, he goes, "Hey man, if I had to pick somebody, he's the one I would have picked." So you see automatically there's going to be conflict between Ray and Hayes this season, because he's seeing what Hayes isn't, and the entire team is feeling it. When your chief guy, Bravo 1, is putting out pressure, the entire team feels it, and they start reacting to it. And that's what you're seeing here, is they're all reacting to Hayes's behavior. And here's Ray trying to tell the new guy, "Hey, don't worry about it. They'll get used to it." And he tries to talk sense to him, and Hayes just doesn't want anything to do with it. He is just not cool with trying to picture. There it is. The two of them are talking, and Ray's just trying to talk sense to him, and Hayes just doesn't have anything to do with it. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and the chip on the shoulder, once again, is his own creation. He creates a lot of his own problems.
Yeah.
And in this season, he really is, because he's so afraid of losing his command of Bravo that he's lying and using external medical sources instead of the VA or the Naval Hospital.
Yeah, I think he has probably tried everything they offer and nothing worked.
Yep, he knows what he needs, and he's doing it. And but he's doing it outside of the knowledge of his command. And if they were to find out, it's sort of like if everybody,
like he said, risking his career to save his career.
It's like the Sopranos, because he knew that when he went to therapy, the mob couldn't find out about it. They'd kill him, and they kill the therapist because they can't have that. And that's sort of the same mindset we have here in this premise is that though the Navy wouldn't kill him, they would kill his career. And he would be put on a desk or in training, training people. And he still wants to be out in the fight. He wants to be.
Yeah, he cannot be on a desk job.
Yeah, this guy is not designed for that shit.
No.
So they're getting spun up to go on a mission, and they're not happy. And here we see Clay showing up, congratulating the new guy, and the new guy telling him, "Hey, man, I'm sorry you're out of the fight, and I'm sorry I took your place. Are we cool?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, we're cool."
I think he's moved on at this point. He just wants to get
I
to
don't
work
think
with the green team.
Oh no, he wants that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, what he said right at the onset is he believes that he could get back into the fight if he learns how to use the leg, because others have done that. And I showed you 2 videos of that, 2 guys that.
Yeah, but he knows that's going to take time, and until then, he's I think fine with training the green team. He just wants that to
C-17.
start.
The C-17 is really one of the coolest planes out there. I never got to ride in one, and I always did. I only flew in C-130s, and this is the Strata carrier, and it's like twice the size of C-130. It's a hell of a plane.
Not as big as the C-5A Galaxy, but
I've never even seen the C-5A Galaxy. But here they find their little hole in the wall where they're going to stay, and they've got to protect it. So they begin discussing.
Mission.
Yeah, this is where they're going to run their missions from in Syria. And then we see Ray here going, "Hey, man, you really need to lighten up on the guy, man." He's trying to talk sense.
He's trying so hard.
Yeah, he's really doing his best.
Working.
And but the new guy comes in, he tries to befriend the other team, and they're not having any of it. They're like, "Shut up, new guy." And
I felt so sorry for him the entire episode.
it was rough on him, man. And they were all
Yeah.
kind of rough. Now, if you guys didn't know it, this gentleman is the military advisor for the series. He's not only gets to be the advisor, he gets
Shut
to
up,
be
Martin.
one of the characters in the show. And I think that's really, really wonderful that they did this, because this guy is a former Army Ranger. I thought that was funny, though. I did snicker a bit when I found out that the technical advisor for a Navy SEAL team is an Army Ranger.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of the same tactics. It really is. Boots on the ground, man. Boots on the ground are boots on the ground. That's why I think a lot of military personnel that are, infantry and higher like this shit. Anybody who's a door kicker loves this show. Not everybody. I mean, I would say about 90% of them. Well, that's what they are. I mean, I named my store, my studio, Door Kicker Studios, because I wanted to just talk about military stuff and make comics and stuff. But anyway, this gentleman is the senior military advisor for the show, and he's also a character on it. And I like that they have him on there, and he's got that deep scar on his arm, if you see it there, from combat. Yeah. And then there's this neat conversation between Clay and Hayes, and not Clay, I'm sorry. What is his name? Sonny and Hayes. And he's talking about securing the location, and Hayes's mind is not on that. His mind is on the problem. He's hyper-focused on the problem. And I fear that his hyper-focus on the problem is going to lead to a problem itself. So they're wanting to secure the location. Then we cut back. Here's the scene where the guy confronts Clay about working out too much. And Clay has to leave, and he shows up. Yeah, really, calling during a show.
Who does that?
I don't know. Oh, it's Sean Young.
I hate you so much in this moment.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, I just saw your Facebook thingy.
Oh, hey, I'm in the middle of a stream right now. Can I call you back right after?
Do.
I will. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate it. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, who do you know gets Sean Young calling him on the phone? She's wanting to talk about my post about the shit going on with my spine, all that stuff. So we have a little echo from
Yeah.
whom?
I don't know.
I'm not hearing any.
It's almost inaudible. I catch it because of my headphones, but
All right, let's deal with it real quick. I'm going to mute everybody. Is the echo still here? Did you hear it while I muted you guys?
I never heard an echo.
I haven't heard it either.
Okay.
Yep.
It might just be on your end, Martin. So anyway, we see, Clay show up. He talks with Lisa after getting chewed out by his therapist, and he's trying to push forward because he wants to do something, and he's feeling useless right now, and he wants to feel useful. And this is a problem that a lot of these guys face, and girls. There are a lot of females that are injured in combat too. And so he's feeling that uselessness, and he's trying to push forward his being able to be an instructor for a green team.
And he doesn't want to wait for like 3 months or so.
And well, at this point, he's just trying to push for it.
Yeah.
In this scene. And, and she's like talking to him, and you get the feel of how frustrated he is. And then we cut back to the team, and these two are talking like, man, I feel bad. I'm not fitting in. And Ray's like, give him time. And here comes Hayes, and they got a situation. And then he gives an idea. He's like, I have contacts, and we should make use of these contacts in the Kurdish military who are fighting against ISIS. And so against his better judgment, Hayes kind of concurs. Go ahead, make contact. And then we cut back to this scene. This is where Clay is really clearly, he's bummed out watching TV. And he asks her, she's focused on work, can I watch the kid? And she's just not listening to what he's really saying. I'm feeling useless. I need to do something. And she's like, I don't want to interrupt our boys' schedule. So no, just keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. He's like, you're not listening to me. Or I don't know if he's noticed that she's not listening to him, but she's not listening.
He does.
She's caught up in her thing, and
he's just too nice to call her out on it. He's trying, and she's not listening, and he's like, yeah, well, okay.
So he socks back up, puts his sock back on, and decides to head out. And this time he's, takes the cane, starts to take the cane, and then he leaves it. And the next time we see him is walking down the hallway. Now, here we are, mission moving forward. They're going to meet this other team from the Kurds. And, of course, it's girl power moment. I laughed when I saw this. But there actually are some amazing female warfighters over there within the Kurds. And they are hated and feared by ISIL. Because you go straight to hell if you're killed by a woman, according to them.
That's so stupid.
It's funny. It's funny.
It is.
But then right here, she starts into this freaking finger pointing thing that just irks the shit out of me.
I should have recorded your rant. It was so funny.
I was just like, what the fuck is she talking about? She explodes with, Army just swoops in, and military, America just sweeps in, and gives us nothing, takes and nothing. You get your oil fields, and I'm like,
there he goes.
Who the fuck wrote your script? I've never met anybody that said that over there. They're always grateful because they get better medical care, get better food, they get backup, they get weapons, they get tactical equipment. Because the Americans, we care. We can't help it. It's just kind of the nature of us giving a shit. And but she's coming up to do, and and it's just goofy. And Hayes is like, "Fuck these people, let's go." But then he gets convinced. No, let's deal with them. And it gets a little better once they stop with the stupid bad writing. Here is bad writing.
Yeah. But it's just in that scene. It completely turns around.
Yeah, and here we see the other members of the team, and they're a bunch of badasses. They really are.
And the one in the foreground, that's the one
She's the one
they're talking about.
Sunny.
Because she behaves like what's his name? The one with the leg. Damn it.
Yeah, Clay.
Yeah, she behaves like Clay did in the beginning, and he tells the female leader, "Yeah, she'll come around. I had one guy like that." That's when they sort of bond.
Yep. And then we see them like, okay, this is how we're going to proceed. And Hayes is still just this whole episode. He is nothing but annoyed the entire episode. I don't see him really in a good mood at all. At one point in his
girlfriend is gone, right?
Well, she's in Afghanistan. Yeah. She's teaching. She's in a school, working in a school. He thought she was
he's alone, and it's not good for him.
Well, he thought she was going over for revenge against the guy that tried to kill her. But she allays his concerns and says, "No, this is a legitimate teaching job. I can go do some good." So, and that bugs him because he needs her. He feels like he needs her, and she bugs out. And but the fact is what he's dealing with, nobody can really help him with. He has to get through this shit himself. So now we see them preparing to move forward onto their first mission. And it's a prison, I think, that's taken hostages. And we see them, lining up, stacking up, getting ready to move in. And, I got to move back a little bit here. Yeah, we got to see this scene.
It's a prison, yes.
Where is that scene? Because the guys up here in the foreground, these are members of that Kurdish team, but the male version. And we're going to see how inept they are as they try to do a breach here. And I'm just going to... And guy just starts to walk in, weapon down. You have your weapon at the high ready when you're going through a door. And
he's committing suicide.
Now, as you see, there's blood spray, meaning that these rounds went through his armor, center mass. He's dead. This guy would not survive this. He had multiple
even wearing armor. It doesn't really
center
look
mass.
like it.
I don't know. It looks like he's got something on here.
Yeah,
but that could be just a vest, for carrying gear. These guys aren't doing anything to help suppress fire or anything. Just a fuck up moment.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, he was with Foxtrot team, but Foxtrot was disbanded in the disbanding of some of the teams, Foxtrot. So he was available, and so commanded him. So, and that's pretty much it. That's the wrap of the episode. Him walking away pissed, and the new guy just feeling like shit. And Ray feeling like shit because Ray's trying to support the new guy. It's a very good episode.
The new guy was just trying to help by using his contacts.
He really was. He was just trying to help Bravo do their... And in all honesty, he really did help them.
Yeah, they couldn't have done it without
contact with them. But now they are being targeted. Hayes has a legitimate beef with that, but the fact is the benefits of working with this team is going to outweigh not working with them. And and I just so thoroughly enjoyed this episode, despite the 3 hiccups in it.
Yeah, well, the one hiccup was major.
Yeah, when you just see the team of girls walking up like all badass. You expect?
No, I meant when she was shit talking. That really triggered you.
Oh, that was them walking up was silly looking. It was like the A-Team shot from Endgame.
A little bit, yeah.
And then her standing up in this guy's face.
We got suspended for policy violations.
Yep. We're down.
What? No.
We just went down.
Yep.
Yep.
Stream unavailable.
after I stopped playing.
Yeah, they wanted you to cover the whole episode before they killed you. Yeah.
Got to get that free advertising in.
Oh well. What you gonna do?
Are they suspending it permanently, or is this something typical?
No, it's just it's like if you play music that's copyrighted, they'll ding you for it for a little while, and then your stream should start back up.
It'll start back up. Yeah. Yep.
Wait up.
Yep, we're back.
Hey,
there we are.
Welcome back to
Welcome back.
Suspension Theater.
But they kindly waited after we were done, so.
Well, we were already done. Yeah, I mean, they didn't ding us while it was. Yeah. Anyway.
Bot tube strikes again. Peter
Yeah, positive. You know, it was like when CBS dinged us for a positive review for the trailer for the
CBS
Twilight
are
Zone.
assholes. Everybody knows that.
Well, now this is Paramount, and I guess Paramount too.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I think I got pretty much everything said that needed to be said, and it was a very good episode. Once I'm going to call Monday Military Monday. I'm going to talk about military shows or films. So once SEAL Team is over, I'll talk about something else.
How many episodes do we get in this season? Do you know
That's
that?
a good question. Let me go check.
Is it 13?
Is that what it is?
That's a weird number.
No, it's actually really fucking common.
I was fixing to say it's moved to the streaming site, hasn't it? It's
Yeah.
not on regular television anymore, and you get less episodes when they run them like that.
10 episodes.
Yeah. Typically, the network stuff runs close to 20, usually. But
Yeah, it used to be 2022 is like
Yeah.
the network, down from 26.
Right.
Yeah, there was 22 episodes on season 2. We'll go to season 5. Let's see how many episodes is there. Season 5 got 14 episodes.
Yeah, and that's when it moved to Paramount, right?
Yeah, first episode, Trust But Verify Part 1 was on CBS, and then Part 2 was on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Wasn't that part of them trying to get people to pick up the service when they first changed it?
Yeah, and I think it's good. I really do like what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've got 10 episodes listed for this season.
Yeah.
But that could change to 14. We'll see what happens. I know the budget is bigger now at Paramount. There's a lot more combat, a lot more money put into the combat because it's a #1 show. And Paramount really kind of needs that with Star Trek dying the way it is.
Oh, let's not go there, please.
Yeah. Oh, man. Right.
What?
Star Trek. Ugh.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there. I was reading what Monkey had said.
Good.
Well, my shirts are tighter.
Well, I'll tell you this, Gary. You've piqued my interest in this show. I've never watched it, but your passion for it has made me think that maybe it might be worth a
Well,
watch.
what I like about it is it respects warriors.
Yeah, that's. I was fixing to say, knowing you, it's got to be at least one thing authentic in some way, shape, or form. I mean, anything on television is going to be church.
Yeah,
stuff,
I was hoping that 6 was going to be one of those shows on History Channel. They had Goggins on for the season 1. He was a replacement for another actor, and Walter Goggins, and he made season 1 really good. And then they kill him first thing season 2, and season 2 went way off the rails. It has a Navy SEAL operator. His wife is concerned that they might be in danger, and she wants to have a weapon to protect herself and the family when he's away. And he goes, "No, I don't want my wife doing that." And it's like, said no
Okay.
operator ever. No warriors ever said
never. More guns in the house, the better,
Yes.
as far as they'd be concerned.
That was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard. And I said, "Yep, I'm done. They don't know what they're talking about. Don't get political on me. Fuck you."
Right.
Well, pro-gun is political. No, it's realistic.
If they could send their family to Buds, they would.
Right.
Yes, they would. Navy SEALs are very protective of their families, and they always train their spouses and their kids how to protect themselves in a given situation. They have plans for things. If something happens, you bug out. That's why their housing is top secret.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd imagine.
so
yeah, I heard your comments earlier about them outing Team 6.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who it was because then I'm getting political.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was the administration in charge in 2011 that did it.
Right, and it's a good move, them keeping it covert from here on out. That's what it was supposed to be to begin with. So, but yeah, you've piqued my interest in this show. The other thing it does is let me know that I'm just getting older by the minute, because I could have sworn they just wrapped Bones a couple of days ago, and now it's been what, 6 years. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and just so you know, there was an operation back in 2009 with 10th Mountain Division where we know that story. Mm-hmm. But in 2011, a Chinook got shot down with, I think there were 38 crew on it. And part of that crew was most of SEAL Team 6.
Okay.
And it was shot down by not an RPG, but a targeting rocket. It's not a guided missile, but it's one that's got its own guidance in it.
Right.
And the only way they could have gotten it was an American-produced rocket, is through the CIA, the Taliban.
Yeah, it's
so when certain people in our government gave that information out, they put a target on the heads of every member of SEAL Team 6. And they got killed.
Yeah. Yeah, war's not a pretty thing. I was lucky enough never to face a shot fired in anger, but my ex-son-in-law was PSYOPs in Afghanistan, and he told me enough stories that I won't repeat them here, but yeah, he won't trust his government the rest of his life. That's for sure.
It's awful. It really
is. Mm-hmm.
And this was I think it was 2 months after the killing of bin Laden, or 3 months after. It was within a handful of months.
Mm-hmm.
And I put out code word Geronimo with IDW, written by Dale and Julia Dye. And we're going to put out another version of it for an anniversary, but we're not sure what one and when we can get it done by, because there's been little problems. Like, IDW gave me the rights back, but at the same time, they were still selling the book through Amazon. And we kept trying to talk to people, going, you gotta stop selling the book. Mm-hmm. If we have the rights back, you can't be selling the book. Now, it's still available through Amazon, but those are copies that they got. Every copy that IDW had, we bought back. So I don't know what's up with that shit. But finally, it looks like we're going to start working towards it. But there's been since I moved, we've not been talking about it. We haven't had a meeting since I left my home and moved here to Springfield.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we're eventually going to get this book done, because I've done a lot of art for it already, fixing shit from the first book that I
want to see it, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, no doubt.
And correcting one big mistake, because we didn't know, nobody knew exactly. And the information we got from the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, was that they had, I forgot the name of it, when you lose air underneath the helicopter, it's there's a name for it. And it just has a sudden drop. And it spun and dropped, and what?
Cavitation? Or is that underwater?
That's underwater. That's
underwater,
yeah. So the helicopter suddenly lost lift. Mm-hmm. And it spun and hit the fence, and the tail rotor broke off. That's what we were told. But that is not how it happened. It is the one thing they got right with Zero Dark 30, even though I hate that title of the film for that story. It's a terrible name for that film. It has nothing to do with what's going on there.
I still have to see that one. I haven't seen that one yet.
The Navy SEAL team's the only thing that's good in it with Chris. What's his name from Parks and Rec, Guardians of the Galaxy? Chris.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. That was his first time. He'd lost weight and became a Navy SEAL in that film. And he has some good scenes in there. The only thing I felt that they really got right, that we got right first, except for this one thing, which was the guy was scuttling the helicopter and was walking up the tail section, and the rudder broke and fell on the other side of the wall. There was no time to deal with it. He scuttled the Black Hawk stealth helicopter on the compound, destroyed it, and anything that was inside was either taken out or destroyed. The only thing that survived was that rudder. And but I'm trying to remember the name of that operation. I'm actually going to look it up here real quick. Hold on.
Go for it, man. Yeah, you've piqued my interest in the show. You really have. I mean, I know your passion for military subjects, and if it was horse shit, you wouldn't be watching it. So,
this is 2011. The senior Taliban leader, Qari Tahir, was possibly in Tanji Valley, Wardak province, Afghanistan. Local forces launched a mission to apprehend him, and U.S. Army Rangers left a forward operating base in Logar province. 20 minutes. And I'm not seeing the damn name of the operation. 17 U.S. Navy SEALs remained in reserve at the forward operating base, FOB, as the Rangers approached the compound. Yeah, they're not giving the name of the mission. Damn it.
That's all right.
Operation Neptune Spear.
No, that was code word Geronimo's operation. Yeah, a lot of people, like, they may, when they say it in the movie SEAL Team 6, they go, they refer to it like it's Operation code word or Operation Geronimo. Well, no, it's Operation Neptune Spear. The code word means, it actually has a meaning. Code word Geronimo means he's dead. The target is dead. So I'm trying to.
I'm sorry, Monkey Jeebus just.
That was it. Extortion 17 was the call sign for the operation.
Okay.
Where they were killed. Extortion 17. I'll kill them all. Just pay me in toys.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So, but anyway, we went over time. But the thing I was going to say about that is, in the updated book, I wanted to do a new chapter that tells the story of Extortion 17 and what happened and what was found out by the intelligence officer and correspondent that are working together. Because that was the story. It's a little bit fiction with truth thrown in. Fictional characters, true story. And cool. But the push is that I should do that as a separate graphic novel, and it should be a full-length graphic novel.
Yeah. Well, do what you love, man. Do what you love.
Yeah.
As far as you doing this show on military stuff, have you reviewed Terminal List yet?
I did.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind talking about it again because it's that great a show.
It is that good. Yeah.
I am going to do a review, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on this this show or something else for The Longest Beer Run Ever, which is the true story of a buddy of a guy serving in Vietnam charters a boat to go to Vietnam to take him beer, some cold beer.
Yeah, did I see Zac Efron's in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Don suggested.
I saw the trailer for it, and I said, this has got to be a true story because
it's crazy,
nobody would
and it's
make
totally
any of that
true.
up. Yeah.
Go to YouTube, look up Pabst. I think it's Pabst Blue Ribbon produced the documentary on the longest beer run ever, and it's got the entire people, all of them that are still alive, involved in that story. And they sat down with him for like 20 minutes and got the whole story. And that's what led to the movie. When that documentary came out, people are like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
now that which one is that on? Is that on is that Apple TV that's got that one, or
I don't know.
I can't remember which one's got that. But
I got it on a site where I'm not supposed to say the name of it.
Oh, is that right?
Little
Well,
listen,
listen, Foxy.
Yeah, it's Apple. It's Apple.
That's what I thought. Listen, Foxy just got off for lunch. She works here out of the house. She's a customer service rep for a utility company. So I'm going to go. I just wanted to let you know that your DMs were not being taken lightly. I'm a little busier on most days than others. I salute you, sir. And
bye, Joe.
Yep.
Bye, Joe.
You guys take it easy, okay?
Take care, Joe.
You guys in the chat, keep it up.
Bye, Joe.
Good
Share
seeing
the
you, buddy.
show. Yep.
And thanks
Take
for having
care,
me
man.
on for a few minutes the other night. It was fun.
Oh, anytime, man. I mean, that one is mostly me plotting the book, but I can take.
Yeah,
15
because that's
minutes.
just you. And I just wanted to drop in and say hi.
Dude.
And what's
Thank
that?
you. You're
bet,
helping
buddy.
push you're helping push me. I appreciate it. You guys take it easy. I'll talk to you later.
Kingsport Pal just said, noticed my shirt said personality. That's why he quoted the words for cult of personality. But it's from another YouTuber, Gopher, that does Let's Plays. And it's this character said, I don't need a personality. I've got a shotgun.
I remember when Zoe started turning into a teenager and was putting on makeup and dressing nice and getting boys notice. One of my friends said, you need to get a shotgun. And I just flatly said, oh, I don't need a shotgun. I can kill with my hands quite well. And I have terrified many a young man. I scared one kid. I said, in the military, they taught us how to dispose of bodies. Just thought you should know that.
And that coming from the giant that you are, of course, that terrifies.
I always preferred there's fields in the Ozarks they don't till for generations.
Yeah. And, before we go, I don't want to say his name. I had to block him, sadly. He got a little off. And he started doing some weird shit, and I had to block him on Facebook. And I hated doing it. But he was always a little off. But there was this guy I knew through Mac that I got introduced to, and I liked him. I felt bad for him all the time because he just seemed to always just be an unlucky dude, And he disappeared for a few months. And Mac and I were like, what the hell's going on? Why did he disappear? And then we found out what happened was he gave some girl a ride home and dropped her off at a house. And she said, you want to come in? He's like, sure. So he goes in and there are other people there and they offer him a beer. The beer was already open when it was given to him. First warning.
Mm.
They drugged him and then they robbed him and took him naked out in the middle of a field between Springfield and Ozark, out in the middle of nowhere. And these four people were egging on this other guy to choke him to death. They were going to slowly murder him in this field. And the guy couldn't do it. And I'm so grateful in many ways, that because once you go over that line, there's no coming back. Once you've done that, it's like losing your virginity. You're initiated now, and you've taken a human being's life, and on purpose. And he couldn't do it, and they finally just left him there naked. And this is in autumn, so it was fucking cold. And finally, my friend woke up and wandered for, he said, I don't know how long. Sun was coming up. And he found a house and beat on the door going, I've been attacked. I need help. And they let him in, put a blanket over him, called the police, and medics came too. And it was just a crazy thing to happen to somebody I knew.
It's terrible.
But ever since then, he's been off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
more
situation,
off.
Situation like that can screw you up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so he started like demanding things from me. And it's like, dude, nobody demands shit from me. I need you have to take my call. I'm like, I will take a call that I want to take or should take, and only if I'm not busy, so he started doing this and it got too weird for me. And I told Mac, I said, I'm sorry, man. I hope this doesn't flow back on you, but I'm blocking him. I just don't want to have him being weird in my life. I don't need it. But the guy, he was traumatized, absolutely traumatized by that shit. And I've always felt bad for him, but not bad enough to keep him in my life when he got weird.
Yeah, I've had to cut friends out that ended up going that in odd directions that way.
I do it with my own sister, because of her schizophrenia. When she gets bad, I just stop taking calls.
You can't help everyone.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself too.
Well, she did damage to me. Her psychopathy messed me up when I was younger because some stuff she did. And my body never forgets that. And even though I've gotten over it, sort of, or gotten past it, not over it, past it. Man, the minute she gets weird, I just shut down and shut her off. It's like I've told you, when people start getting agitated around me, I get quiet.
Yeah.
I just shut down. I just don't want to. I just want to be small. I'm a giant. I want to be small.
That sounds so weird.
You want to avoid confrontation.
Yeah, I just avoid it all because I just don't want it in my life anymore. And yeah, don't call me from prison. I've never had that happen, but that would be funky if you have a collect call from such and such prison. No. The answer is no, I will not accept charges. No. Like, why would I want a phone call from a prison? But no, and I get that, Kingsport Cal, because I've had, I've seen my friends go to jail. I've never actually had anybody but my uncle go to federal prison. He went to federal prison for embezzlement. This is back in like 69 or 70. He was like on the FBI's most wanted list for about 2 weeks. And his wife, my aunt, turned him in for the money. I've got a horrible family. They're just fucking horrible. But yeah, and sometimes if things are going wrong, there are people to talk to. I am really good with certain things, but once mental illness gets involved with it, I kind of bow out. I bow out, tap out, whatever you want to call it. I just don't have the expertise. I know how to deal with certain things, and Anima knows that. She's seen me in action. I know how to deal with certain things. I've had a lot of friends. You're not the only one, Anima, that's seen me in action. There are certain things I'm good with, and there's some things that I go, this is not in my wheelhouse.
But I'm probably the only one who tells you to shut the medic off.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. I'm like, no,
I know.
It's so
I'll keep
ingrained
trying,
in me.
though.
There's no separation of Army
Because
and Medic Gerry.
Sometimes Medic Gerry just pisses me off.
Yeah, because I take control
Because
of
he's right,
situations.
yeah, I know.
I take control of situations. I'm very quick to take control. I know that I'm probably the one person that knows what to do in a given situation. And I'm immediately saying what needs to be done. And then some people are like, no. I'm not saying names.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at you right now. So anyway.
I get that way.
Show, Gerry.
I can get that way in tech situations. Go completely tech nerd and people are like, what?
I'm sorry, what?
I was reading Monkey Jeebus's comment. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm confused.
My neighbor went to prison for embezzlement, and his kid was my dad's, I don't know what, in Japan. I'm like, he's somewhere that starts with a J, but it's not Japan. But I don't know what he was. I'm like that too. But when I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, absolutely, yeah. Kingsport Cal, I will shut up when when I am outside my wheelhouse. I sit and listen.
Doing that.
Oh my God, she found a cat in her computer.
The cat sat on my mouse and almost kicked me off the show.
That'd have been funny.
That's better than trying to eat the mouse.
The cursor was like half a centimeter from the leave studio button. That really was a close one.
I'm sorry, I had to mod for Midnight's Edge for a second because I'm a moderator over at Facebook for Midnight's Edge. It's funny. I'll like hit Tom up going, I have somebody that wants me to delete something someone else said, but I really don't think there's a problem with this, but I want to ask you if you're okay with that. And he's like, yeah, ignore that. And just click to add it back into the comments. People need to toughen the fuck up when they're on a public forum and not be a big pussy about everything. That upsets me. You said that to me. Are you going to die from it? No. Do I need to say any more then? If it's not going to fucking kill you, cowboy the fuck up. That's why I always tell people, this whole woke thing about words do damage. I went, yeah, they can. And then you grow from it. You become a better person from it. I got bullied like a motherfucker as a kid. What happened? I'm funnier. Because the best way to get away from a bully is to make them laugh. They can't run when they're laughing.
When did we
so
stop?
You became a jerk.
When did we stop teaching kids that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me?
I never stopped. I taught all my
90s.
kids that. What's that?
In the 90s. I'm answering to
Oh,
that.
Martin is still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting you're here when you go quiet for so long.
He does that.
Mm.
He has his quiet moments, contemplative moments where he's thinking about, am I getting enough fiber in my diet? Do Mexican children drink coffee? Why does my internet suck?
No, that's you.
And why? No, Martin too. And
Really?
Why do I think my awesome bookshelves behind me look like crap?
We all
Everybody loves your bookshelves, Martin.
Yeah.
It's a great. Oh.
Well, he's entitled to say that.
I know, but it just I hate that word.
Yeah.
He's not glorifying it.
I know that. Stop correcting me, Martin. I'm just uncomfortable with that word.
I'm just standing by my guy.
Whatever. Shut up. Go to Mexico, you bastard.
Already
Martin,
there.
At least your shelves aren't as messy as mine.
Oh no, they are. That's.
And you know what, Kingsport Cal, when I was a kid, one of the things that I witnessed that I hated, and I really did hate it, was a lot of the racism I saw was black on black racism. And I really was floored by this. I didn't understand it at all. I'm like, what the fuck? Like the first time my buddy Chester got called high yellow was by a bigger black kid that I was friends with. And I'm like, what is that even? I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, I went to Charlie. I went to Chester and asked him, I'm like, hey man, what is with that? What does that mean? He goes, it means I got too much white in me. And I'm like, is that a thing? I was just like really blown away. I was so innocent. I just didn't understand any of that shit. And then in high school, also, Pee Wee, a buddy of mine, him and his brother Tim. Now Pee Wee, he had a horrible affliction. He was white-haired and had freckles and very pale-skinned, black kid. And he got fucked with so bad. And he said something with his brother present, and his brother started to get into a physical fight with the guy because he called him house inward. He called Pee Wee that. And Tim, his brother, just got pissed and went at the dude. And once again, it was an entirely just a black crowd. I just happened to be there because I lived in a black neighborhood. I was like the only white guy for blocks growing up. And I witnessed that, and I was just really, it broke my heart seeing it. And I didn't hear racism from any of the white kids except for at a baseball game. And that dude got knocked the fuck out. He called Lance Ellis, a good friend of mine, the N-word, and he knocked him out. And we didn't see the hit. We heard the hit and spun. Victor, who's been on the show, Victor, my friend Victor, we heard the hit and spun and saw him hit the concrete dugout with his face. And it made the wettest steak hitting concrete sound I'd ever heard. It's horrifying. Shattered his jaw and his cheek. That dude was wired for a while with his jaw. And I guess he learned not to use that fucking word. But yeah, that's the word that he called him in front of me. But he didn't use the A word. He used the ER word. And
the hard end.
Yeah, the hard one. And my dad raised me to never say that. Never say that word. Never say that word. Don't ever let me hear you said that word. I will kick your ass. He would have kicked my ass. Yep. And what's funny is our coach was the father of Frankie, the guy who got knocked out. And he took off after Lance. And I'm like, you're dreaming if you think you're going to catch that kid. By the time he got through the gate and got his first 2 steps into the run to go after him, Lance was all the way to the outfield fence and going over it. What the hell are you doing, Martin?
You rubbing a balloon?
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like he was rubbing a balloon.
Nope.
Nope. I will never know.
I hope you're not rubbing something else.
I tell you. But
I was checking why I have an echo, and I find out why.
Why?
I have my sound output for YouTube on separate headset, and the headset are away, and I hear it very loud.
That's what's going on. Gotcha. That's why you're the only one hearing it. All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. I want to thank Penny, who is first in the house, Alatar, D-Bud Martin, Alex Moore, Dr. Dragon, Grandmaster, War Monkey, Dragon Bricks, Joe's Atmosphere, also for being part of the panel. Magitech Mags, we love you, Magitech. You're awesome, Mags. Monkey Jeebus, thank you, Comic and I can hardly wait to see your Boba Fett pictures. Peter Vinkman Fansite, it's always good to see you. In Kingsport, Cal, you know we love you, brother. Good to see all of you. I hope you all had a good Monday. It was a real quiet Monday. We even got shut down. That's okay. I want to thanks to my pals here on the panel, John, Anima, confused it because I kind of sort of like her and stuff.
Yeah. I might have heard that once or twice.
There's, that's the thing I do, by the way. It's something I do to underplay something in a funny way. Is I'll go, yeah, it's just like combat and stuff. I'll just add the and stuff at the end, and they're like, what the fuck does that mean? It's just me being stupid. And of course, Martina Costa Santana for being the right side of my brain and helping run the chat while I talk into the microphone and pay attention to what I'm saying rather than clicking things. So, and you can see how quickly I'm distracted when things happen, like phone calls. I have to call Sean Young back. I mean, how many people do you know gets a phone call from Sean Young? Somebody said something about me the other day that irritated me.
Feel free to give her my number.
Yeah, I'll do that. But the other day, somebody made a joke while I was on there. Yeah, Gerry knows everybody. Gary's met so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. And I went, you're not saying that in a very polite way. You know, fuck you. You know, I can't help it by what I do for a living leads me to meeting people in Hollywood. You know, are you, you know, I consider that kind of an envy thing when people do that. But I've had people try to call me a liar. You know, like when I first moved to Missouri, I went to a party with some friends and I told a couple of stories about Bruce Campbell and some stuff. And they're like, later when I left, that guy's lying. He doesn't know. And then the guy that threw the party goes, oh, he knows Bruce Campbell. Yeah, Gerry doesn't make shit up. And if he tells you a fucked up story, trust me, it's 100% true. He doesn't embellish. He tells you things how it happened. And it just happens to be funny because it's fucked up. So, oh, that's nice. And by the way, I can't remember who it was that posted. I think it was Parrot. I think Parrot posted something about making Gerry great again. And it said, getting rid of Gary with an A and making Gerry great again. I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, that's funny. But thanks all for being here. I'm ready to do some other shit. So I got work to do. And I got to make phone calls, for God's sakes. I got to call. I just forgot his first name. Mel Torme's son about being on our show Wednesday.
Tracy.
Thank you. Tracy Torme, former producer and writer on Star Trek Next Generation, Sliders, I Am Legend. The guy's worked on a lot of great stuff. I mean, everything he's worked on, I liked. And we had a fantastic conversation Friday. And I am going to call him today to make sure he can join us on StreamYard. Once we confirm that,
I'm so excited for Wednesday.
I will keep that thumbnail up, because if he can't get on StreamYard because he's not tech savvy, worked on Star Trek and he's not tech savvy, and if he has any trouble, we might have to reschedule. And if that happens, I'll do something else this Wednesday with Dawn. But I've officially made Dawn Ecker the co-host of Wednesdays. And,
wasn't he already?
He was always my special guest, but really, I like him more in a control position of the show. So
I think he took control from the beginning.
Make Backdoor Gerry gay again. For that, you get this video.
Jesus,
well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, wrong video.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door? Yeah.
This evening is ruined. Look, wait, what? This evening is ruined.
Well, about time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail.
Anyway, I'll talk to all you guys later. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I think I'm going to skip it until we can find somebody to guest host. I'll see you guys Wednesday. And
can I plug my show?
If you're a freak, sure, do whatever you want to do.
Sorry.
Oh, you mean talk about your show? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm doing my first regular live stream. I'm going to be doing it every Tuesday at 4. Das Wolfen's random stream of randomness. Going to be covering pop culture topics, some gaming, a little bit of everything.
Why didn't you just put ADD in the title? I mean, you put randomness, but it's really ADD.
Yeah. Well,
it's just more ADD theater. I love that. All right. Did you put the link in the chat?
No, I'll do that.
You've got a wrench, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just share it with everybody in the chat. Go check it out. And there you go. All right, guys. You saw it here first. A promotion of our good friend John Das Wolfen, who will not be touching my monkey during those shows.
No.
I miss Daily Gary mostly because I'm still asleep. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But Tuesdays, we're going to start the show back up on Tuesdays and Fridays in the morning once we figure out who's going to be the host. I'll probably pop in with them just to say hi and then pop back out because I've got to get my career back going in the right direction. And I need to start going to the doctor. And when I'm doing these shows, it really interferes with my going to the doctor. And yes, and when I saw the doctor last, he said, no more jumping on the bed. It's true. It's true. Totally true. No, it's a lie.
He was concerned about the bed.
When I'm
though.
saying it's true and I'm doing this, I am lying. I'm letting you know I'm lying. I'm not going like this. I'm going like this. 4 Central Cal.
Oh, he asked if it was 4 Eastern. It's 4 Central.
Oh, okay. I get it. All right. Well, that's good. As Andre would say, and with that, we end the show, and I bid you all a fair adieu and see you all next time. Wednesday. Boom, baby. Yeah.